If you're working on a building project for your business and you've got your logo figured out before you have any sort of strategy for how to get to the finish line and open your business successfully, I can tell you that you may not be focusing on the right things. And that may be because you don't know what that even means. And that's fine. But it's not about being busy, it's about applying our efforts strategically to the right things at the right moment. And that changes as you go through a whole process. And that's why, as I've focused on building buildings, I am an architect. I don't really care. That's just one of the tools I have to build buildings. And I filled in other gaps along the way so that we can have a more comprehensive understanding and conversation at the very beginning about how we're going to get over here. And architecture is a part of that, but it's in the middle. And I've got other videos that talk about this. But the whole point is that it's not about being busy. It's about focusing our effort in the right way so that we can be making good decisions, stacking good decisions along the way so that we know what's going on, so that we have a degree of predictability in our schedule, in our budget, in the quality that we're going to be getting, in how long things are going to take to design, how long it's going to take to do whatever the case is. So many people I work with are building projects without budgets and without schedules. I see it a surprising amount. And when I'll ask, where's the budget? Where's the schedule? If they don't, that's one of those things where the answer has to be, oh, let me just email it to you. Because if it doesn't exist and you're in construction, you have missed the mark, frankly. And it has to be figured out. And it really has to be figured out at the beginning as early as possible so that we can cross-reference things, cross-reference all the disciplines we're working in, construction, real estate, finance, operations, design, all these different things, how we manage the teams. This is all strategy. It's all strategic. So we need to focus on that to have this overlay that sort of just drips on everything across all of these bands of these different disciplines. That's how we get a comprehensive strategy that allows us to deliver the best project on time, on budget, with a predictable process that we custom strategize for everything. Yes, we need an awesome logo. I'm not great at naming things. I would love help with that. It's not about those smaller things, while they are critical, while they even probably become more critical at the beginning of a project, they're just not. And the reason I say that very simply is because you could have the best logo in the world, but if you don't get the building built or the space built out for you to operate that business for that logo, what's the point? Which is why that's why I start there with clients. And, as usual, it's like if you're avoiding something, that's probably the thing you need to be focusing on, actually. So if you're not sort of thinking through the whole process and you're focusing on like one little thing, that may be you staying busy, not putting your effort in the right area, meaning like directed force in the right direction. So just be careful with that because that's a warning sign, I think, and it shows up in a number of areas. The obstacles, the way, that kind of thing. But it's true. And so, you need to be able to describe this and lay it out on a timeline with numbers attached to it from very early on. That's why one of the first things I do with clients is start throwing some numbers, and they're very high level, don't get me wrong, but they're real. And it gives you something because it's often very eye opening what the reality is when you just, this plus this plus this plus this. And all of a sudden, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months later, wow, I thought I was going to be open by the summer and it's really actually next summer, or whatever the case is. Or if that's the case, then let's focus our effort on how to change that. How can we do that better? If that's a goal, how can we actually focus that effort, like we've been talking about here, on something better? So just make sure, have fun, draw a logo, work out colors. Great. As long as it's not getting in the way of developing your building project strategy in a smart, coherent way. If this is a good video, if you like it, if it's interesting for you, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I genuinely appreciate your time. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.